You ready?
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's a beautiful day outside today. Very autumn. I have been with Leonard for 10 years. I love doing up. It's fun.
I love going to Leisure Networks on Friday, catching up with everyone. I walk in the front door, I sign in, make me smile.
James, do you remember what year you started at Leisure Networks?
Oh God, that was 2009.
I've been with Leisure Networks for a long time. I'm part of the community and not getting up to mischief.
It's been a good change for me to go to a provider that sort of really does give a shit, and for me to engage more and actually feel more engaged in the community again.
I didn't have Leonard, it will be boring.
If I didn't have Leisure Networks in my life, I wouldn't travel to the places that I want to go.
If there was no Leisure Networks, that would suck. I'd be lost.
First going to the library, and after that we do bowling, and McDonald's.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
This was Leisure Networks back in the 90s. It looks very different, but it still has strong memories. And if we look over here, we've actually still got, this is Leisure Networks. This is where we parked.
The history of Leisure Networks was in an organisation called Barwon Leisure Buddies.
It was very much run by parents. Leisure Networks was the formation of an incorporated organisation.
Funding established Leisure Networks. Some of the key decisions were made in this building.
And so for some years, there was a conversation happening between Leisure Networks and the Barwon Sports Assembly about combining the forces.
These two organisations obviously started to work together, and the question was asked of both organisations whether there would be benefits in merging.
The Barwon Sports Assembly was operating out of the Corio Leisure Centre with Carolyn Jordan.
There was some great synergies between the two organisations. We were both funded through Sport and Recreation Victoria to support inclusion in sport and recreation clubs for people with disabilities.
The projects and programs that they wanted to deliver were really closely aligned. So I just thought that this made a lot of sense.
That merger was successful.
We were demonstrating already, these good relationships and these very worthwhile projects. It's just that we were doing them under separate banners. So, why not bring the organisations together?
I think it was done with great integrity and honesty and with good intention.
So Leisure Networks and the Barwon Sports Assembly, now all being Leisure Networks, was funded to support community organisations to be inclusive.
Leisure Networks, it was a small organisation in Little Mallopp Street. It only had a handful of staff.
It really was tiny.
We were really fortunate to be able to bring some dynamic people into the organisation.
When I started at Leisure Networks, we were a team of around 10.
A young chap walked in the door. I don't know why he walked in the door, but he did. His name was Jason Thompson.
It was a brave organisation that took chances.
It saw itself as a leader in the region.
And was able to demonstrate that certain changes were possible and things could be done in a different and interesting way.
We had a diverse board with a complementary set of skills.
Once I got to the organisation, I just started to fall in love with it.
They were a fun organisation and had a really good culture about the place.
We were always willing to experiment, always willing to think differently.
Remembering that this was back in the 1990s, well before the NDIS, well before a system of different support.
And that credit has to go to Jill for enabling that culture to thrive.
Jill really gave birth to the organisation almost and set us on the right path. So she was really good at positioning Leisure Networks where we needed to be.
Some really intelligent, capable management.
They were an innovative organisation. People were willing to give things a crack. I think that was probably the thing that I enjoyed the most.
The next point in the history of Leisure Networks came with the redevelopment of Skilled Stadium.
They moved down to Sports House and they only took up about 2 rows of desks there. Thought, oh, this is a big space for a small organisation. Well, within a few years, they'd filled that space.
And so we worked with the city to take the lead role in managing Sports House.
It's a really significant place for Leisure Networks. When we moved to Sports House, that really put us on the map in terms of being a key player.
We had received funding to manage a range of identified projects from the state government.
We were also able to provide services for people who just did not fit into traditional disability services.
We had a group of staff with an incredible zest for their roles.
Making it a trusted name throughout the Barwon region.
And then Rob came in and he was really good at the technology. We really needed him to come in and clean the processes up.
We had about 24 staff located at Sports House. Developing strong relationships with the state government was extremely important.
We wanted to provide a very individualised service.
To enable people with disabilities to live a full and contributing life.
Leisure Networks never wanted to be a particularly large organisation. We never wanted to take over the world. We wanted to give people the confidence to participate in the community and that we would be just a step behind them.
And then the timing for Libby was perfect because she was able to take all that work and magnify it and multiply it.
She was the right pick at the right time and has proven to be an absolute boon for Leisure Networks.
I'd always known Leisure Networks. So when the opportunity came up, and it was so exciting because Leisure Networks' next phase was to join the NDIS.
The organisation has grown significantly and I think that's probably due to the NDIS.
We knew that it was going to provide people with disabilities so many more opportunities.
A family of a child with a disability can now decide what they think they would need.
I came along to the AGM and it was extraordinary. It wasn't like a normal AGM. It was about stories and it was about connection.
We moved our headquarters across the road to a brand new building to have 40 seats and we outgrew that fairly quickly.
It's a fantastic building. The first thing that happens when you walk into that building is you walk into the communal space. That then connects to the rest of the organisation.
A really amazing headquarters in Geelong. We've got offices all over Metro Melbourne and over 150 staff.
We've grown into an organisation servicing over 2,500 people.
What's stayed the same is our culture. We articulate our culture. We actually call it out and we speak about it openly.
I've learnt so much from so many wonderful people.
It was a very different organisation. It was only about 16 customers, and that's the opportunity of growth. Really meaningful, important work that makes a difference.
For me, it was probably the most exciting work environment that I've ever been in. I felt really proud to think that I'd been part of the journey.
We saw the possible for all people in our community. Environments that will always be better because of the work the team have been doing.
I'm so proud of the way that the organisation and our leadership have responded to the pandemic. The work that our leadership team have done in being innovative has been absolutely amazing.
There's just not enough focus on leisure opportunities and supporting people with disabilities. The role of Leisure Networks is pivotal in this region.
We talk about it being like a family. Every person who comes to Leisure Networks comes with a passion, and to work in this industry, you have to have a passion.
I was impressed right from when I started about how the staff would brainstorm new programs. It was just inspiring.
The organisation is doing the work that we did back then, and it's still supporting people to live these contributing lives.
It was capturing people's imaginations. It's a really rare organisation. I haven't found it since, that's for sure.
They've come from a very small budget, scratching to be able to invest in themselves.
I'm most proud that the organisation has grown, but it has stayed true to who it is.
We work with some wonderful customers and see some wonderful opportunities for them to grow.
Leisure Networks has indeed achieved the impact that I had hoped for. In fact, it's probably exceeded it.
Happy 30th birthday, Leisure Networks.
Happy 30th birthday, Leisure Networks.
Happy birthday, Leisure Networks.
Happy 30th birthday, Leisure Networks.
Happy birthday, Leisure Networks.
Happy 30th birthday, Leisure Networks.
A big happy 30th birthday to Leisure Networks.
Happy 30th birthday, Leisure Networks.
To Leisure Networks for their 30th birthday. Well done.
Happy 30th birthday, Leisure Networks.
Happy 30th birthday, Leisure Networks.
Happy 30th birthday, Leisure Networks, and all who sail in her.
Hey, Networks. Hey, you birthday. And guess what? Yeah, cans smell like a caveman.